lot of people on my team, they didn't want me to do this video because, they're like, oh, the world, they can't handle it. They just can't handle it. They won't be ready for the answers that you have to provide to the world. And I'm like, I don't care anymore. People should know. People should know why they haven't had something as good as something else since sliced bread, which I had a hand in, but we'll talk about things like that later. My name is Squarely Cushington. A lot of people, actually nobody's familiar with who I am because I've been hiding all my life. I decided I was going to make this video because I think people should know. And I grew up right here in Brookline, Massachusetts. My parents, they're part of a group that a bunch of innovators that just create things. Basically, I have to show up my parents. I have to be bigger than what they were. When I was about 15, I met a man named Bigley Lumsworth. And he was talking to me about the truth. And I'm like, the truth about what? I'm 15, I'm not ready for any of this. I'm like, the truth about what? He was like, the truth. You can come with me, or you could stay here and live this regular life. And I said, you know what? I do want to know about the truth. So I got in his limo. We were riding around town. We stopped right in front of the theater. Now it's Lowe's Theater on Boylston. We got out, but before we got into the theater, he opened his hand. He said, take one. And I'm looking at him like, what is this, Mucinex? He had a red and a blue pill. And I know y'all thinking oh, this is the Matrix. This kid's making this up. No, it's a red and a blue pill. He said you can take the blue pill, and when you wake up, things will be different. You can take the red pill, and when you wake up, things will be different. I took both. I'm like, whatever. And when I woke up, I don't know how much time had passed. When I woke up, Mr. Lumsworth was standing over me, and there were a whole bunch of people in the room, in the back. It was a really dark room. He was looking at me like, you passed. He kept telling me I passed. And I'm like, yeah, I passed out, you idiot. He was like, no, you passed. And I'm like, okay. He's like, so you're in, and this is the truth. We are the people behind big events or small events or just really important things that happen in American history that you're probably I wonder who thought of that. Whoever managed that campaign or whoever did this, they were a genius. And these are the people. I'm part of this group now. I am now a genius by default. Now, when I first met Mr. Lumsworth, man, he told me, you can be part of the truth. But in order to really be a part of it and prove yourself, you have a task. He's like, you basically need to bring hope to people. And I'm like, what? That is almost impossible to all people. I'm like, all right, I don't know. At the time, I was like 5. I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. 2004. I just happened to be in Chicago visiting some people I know. The word I kept hearing was change. And I'm like, man, I gotta meet this guy. So a couple of days go by, I had to fly back out to Boston. I had to pick up my cat. My cat was making snow cones in my apartment. I'm like, look, you can't be doing that. I kicked the cat out. I flew back out to Chicago to meet with this Barack Obama guy. I'm like, man, you know what? Me and you need to talk one-on-one. I kept him in my limo. I was like, you know what? Let me show you a night around town so we can have this serious conversation. I basically told this man, I was like, look, you need to be the face of this country. He kind of looked at me like, I don't really know if that's a good idea. A lot of people aren't going to be ready because, a lot of people still close-minded, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. You need to shut the hell up and do what I say. And it's not really a threat. It's more like people need hope. We need change. You've already done a lot of change. You brought hope to a lot of people. I think you could do it on a bigger level. He ran for president, and obviously, as you know, he won. I got Barack Obama elected. AOL Instant Messenger. Do you know how many screen names I had posing as people's friends? Senator McCain, I set him up with Palin because I knew what happened. Obama won. What up, Palin? I am an X-File. That's what this is. The Truth Group, we are the X-Files that were never even discussed on the show. So that's what it is. And that's how I proved myself to Mr. Lumsworth. I got Barack Obama elected. What is bigger than that? I am Squarely Cushington, and I am the truth. back. My father told me this story. He was telling me how he met a woman named PR. Never knew her real name, PR. Come to find out later, she had a hit TV show, and her real name was Pink Ranger. A lot of people don't know this about Pink Ranger, and she was, and he was, a she-he, a hermaphrodite. It was both. And she did not want the world to know that she had given birth to her one and only son. Who was that? Steve Jobs. Don't ask me how this happened. This is a story and it's the truth. Okay? I would not lie to you on a video called The Truth. The Truth. The Truth. Anyway, she fornicated with him herself and gave birth to a genius. And that's, Steve Jobs, you know who that is. So that's his real mother. Despite any biographies or anything you may know about him right now, that is where he comes from. Max, Power Rangers. 1.